Hello guys, today we are talking about hyperlapses on the DJI Mini 3 Pro, what hyperlapse is and how to do them on this fantastic drone. This was always previously exclusive on the bigger drones. We didn't have this on the Mini 2. We now can do hyperlapses on the Mini 3 and get fantastic looking results just like this. So let's get straight into the video and how to do it. So a hyperlapse is a moving time lapse. It's a series of photos that the drone will take for you and automatically make a video. On the Mini 3 Pro we have free, circle, course lock and waypoints, and each one of these 4 different versions of a hyperlapse will create different looking hyperlapse videos or photos. I'll get to that in a second. And I'm going to go through each one for you, starting off with course lock. So what course lock does, as it sounds, it will get the drone to fly in a straight line that you determine. So what we're going to do is click on course lock now, and you'll see now you've got several values when you bring this menu bar down. First of all, this is the speed. I tend to have mine on round about 1.1 meters per second, and the length is going to be the length of your hyperlapse. You can change this how you wish. I have mine normally between 3 to 5 seconds. Any longer than that it's going to take forever, normally a full battery. And then the interval, keep that on 2 seconds. Now what you want to do then is click that little lock icon, and that will then lock the course, and the drone will then fly in a completely straight line which you'll be able to see on your map and take, in my situation now, 100 photos. And you can see on the map in the bottom left hand corner, the drone will just fly in a straight line up until it reaches 100 photos. You can make the map bigger, and then you can see that the way the course is going. They're going in a straight line here, and you can also zoom in a bit more and see that line. When it gets to the end of that green line and it finishes 100 photos, it will create a video for you like this. So that's really good. I really enjoy course lock. It's really easy to do. Now let's look at my favorite one, which is waypoints. This is a bit more complicated, but you can get some awesome results like this, and it's a bit more customizable with the way you want to fly. And it's customizable because it's done via waypoints. You're going to tell the drone where you want it to fly. So you're going to click that plus icon on the bottom, and that's going to set the first waypoint. Then you're going to fly in the course you want it to go yourself manually. So I'm going to go a bit forward and click plus again. And then I'm going to go to the very end, just near that roundabout, and click another plus icon. That's going to set another waypoint. So that's the course I want the drone to fly, but it's going to start from here. So I want it to be done now in reverse sequence. So I'm going to click on normal sequence, and that will change to reverse. So it's just going to start from here now. It's not going to waste time going back to the starting position. I'm going to have my intervals on 2 seconds, and then for the duration I'm just going to move this down to 4 seconds in length, but you can keep this on 5 if you wish. So now I've set the course for the drone. The drone knows which way it needs to follow. I've set all the waypoints and it will follow that course for me. We're just going to click off this screen now. I'm going to show you some more options. So you want to make sure you've got 4K selected, and now this is where you can either have your photos to either be off, JPEG or RAW. You will get better results if you use RAW photos, and then you can put them into a photo editor, mash them all together, do your color grading, and you will get better looking hyperlapses. But for the benefit of this, and for majority of scenarios, the video that DJI will produce for you is going to be good enough. You can always color grade that as well, so you can get better results using the photos. But if you want to do it the quick way, just do what I'm doing now. So the drone now will follow its path that you've created. So I also increase the height at the start as well. So because it's a customizable waypoint, you can do whatever you want. You can go forward, backward, left, right, increase the altitude, change the camera angle, pans up and down. Waypoint is awesome, and this is the final result. You can also reverse this again if you wanted to start from the starting position. And there's a special trick to this one I'll show you at the end of the video. Let's have a look now at the other waypoints. We're going to concentrate now on circle. Now circle is great if you've got some kind of landscape or building and you've got lots of motion around it. So for this example now, I'm going to use this really massive hotel, and there's a road either side of it, so we'll get some good results. So what you're going to do is you want to select your subject first of all. So I'm just going to drag a box around the building here just in front of me. And then you can see now, similar to before, we want to change it and make sure 4K is selected. I'm not going to have photos, it's just going to be a video. Click this drop down bar, and now here we are. I've got the 2 second interval just like before. I'm going to keep it as a 4 second hyperlapse length. Next, you can change the speed, so I'm going to just keep it the same, 0.5. You can select it to 1 if you wish, but slower is probably better on this circle hyperlapse. And then choose your direction, so counterclockwise or clockwise. Because there's a road just to the left hand side, I want it to go counterclockwise. I want to make sure that road is in the frame. Once I've done that, it's going to hit go, and then the drone will position itself and then take, in this situation, 100 photos and get a really cool looking hyperlapse just like this. So again, hyperlapse circle is awesome, but there is still more. So since the last update, we can now do hyperlapses in vertical mode as well. For posting for social media, this is really good news. So you can do them in landscape and in vertical in all these different modes as well. All of them work just great. This one I'm going to select now is free. So I'm going to select my duration again to around about 3 seconds, interval 2 seconds, and then for the speed, I'll just keep it the same. Now free, I don't like it as much because it's all on you, and there's a problem with that as well. So I'm going to select normal mode, I'm going to select 4K again, and then I'm just going to put it into vertical. So I want to go forwards basically in a straight line up this road. But because it's on you and it's on your finger, you're just going to go and fly forwards. You can adjust the height as well if you wish. But because we all just shake and have little shakes, whether you like it or not, it's not going to get really good results, because if anyone nudges you or you slightly move, you've got to remain still for 125 shots. It's not easy to do. I prefer this one. This is also in free, by basically just increasing or decreasing altitude. So I'm pretty low now. I'm just going to go and fly straight up. It's going to take 75 shots and get a shot like this. This is really cool, and it's easier to do. I'm going to use it again here in this location under free, under hyperlapse. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to go down to as low as I really can. 125 shots is just going to get on my left stick. I'm just going to increase the altitude straight up. Nothing on the right stick, just there. It's quite boring. You can't move at all. You've got to be really still. But if you move slightly or your thumb moves a little bit, it's going to be seen on the video. So free isn't my favorite one, but for getting shots like this, increasing or decreasing altitude, it's a fantastic one to use. And now I've got to the top of the hyperlapse, I can switch it into vertical and I can just come straight down. So I've now got my height, but you can see here there's quite a lot of reflections from the water. So I would recommend selecting autofocus and then holding down on the point you want the camera to focus on, and that will lock the exposure there. So I'm going to focus it on basically the slides. And then I'm just going to now decrease the altitude straight down. And you've got to stay fairly still, so I would only recommend free for this, for basically up and down movements. Going actually forwards and stuff, it's going to be quite jerky and you'll be able to see it. Even this one here isn't perfect, and this is just up and down. So that's the first bit. Let's now look at fantastic ones which are at night, and how we can merge that one from before, the one where we did the waypoints, together, so you can have daytime to nighttime hyperlapses. This is really cool, so let's get straight into it, okay? Right, so let's go on now. We're going to select over this street. We're going to go to hyperlapses again, and then if we go and click on waypoints, now because we did a waypoint earlier, if we just look now, if we select set waypoint, that little arrow pointing down, we're just going to click on that. And now because we set a waypoint earlier in the daytime, the drone remembers it. So you see them 3 little dots, just click on that, and that is now going to show us the waypoints from earlier on today. So I can see the one I used earlier was at the very top. So if I select that, that will then load it automatically onto this hyperlapse. So you can see now all the camera rotations and the setting, everything is at the bottom there. I can add more if I wish, but I wanted to keep it exactly the same. So all I want to do now is I want to keep it the same speed, the same length. I want it to change it from normal sequence because I'm basically at the starting point now, so I don't have it in reverse. And then I'm just going to click the red record button, and then what that will do is the drone will automatically move to its starting point it remembered from earlier on. So it's all done automatically. Everything is saved for you. So right now the drone is just moving to that starting point. Once it's got to that starting point, it will adjust itself, it will frame itself already, just like it did earlier on, so it's perfectly aligned and matched. Once it's done that, it will then start, and in this case it's going to take 100 photos. If you select, say, an 8-second hyperlapse, it's going to be maybe 150 photos. And this is where it gets really good, because now you're going to have a nighttime hyperlapse, but it's going to follow the exact same path as earlier. So this is the nighttime version. You can see that looks sick, doesn't it? That is awesome. But this is the daytime version. So what we can now do is, in your editor, you want to just then basically do a quick cross dissolve. You can see it goes from daytime to nighttime. You can also reverse one of the clips as well and get really good looking results. So hyperlapses are so much fun, and with practice you can get some fantastic results, especially the Waypoints one. Once you've mastered it, you can get some really good daytime to nighttime shots just by merging them together. And this location is awesome, especially for nighttime video and photography. Lots more coming in this area. I cannot wait to show you. But it's a highly requested video about hyperlapses on the Mini 3 Pro, so I hope you enjoyed that. If you've got any more questions, just comment down below and let me know what you think. Take care. See you soon. Bye bye.